Hey everybody. Welcome back to Generation X Nation. The topic today I will be discussing is that Real Housewife of Potomac reunion. I'm gonna make this real quick because it wasn't really much to talk about other than Mia be lying, still lying, and apparently always has been lying. Um, the reunion part two started out with Andy in the back dressing room with Mia trying to cheer her up, giving her a little confidence, telling her, hey, at least you owned your lies. In part one, Mia got upset, started crying, and walked off the stage after they questioned her about the whole incident in Miami where was she a good friend by having those two ladies go down there to her birthday party and then basically ghosting them. She stood them up. So Mia went back to say, I wouldn't be so upset if it wasn't the final weeks of my divorce. Andy tried to convince her she was a good person, and it started from there. Everybody goes back on stage, and then they start filming again. Um, wasn't much to say with the other girls. He did ask Giselle about her ex-husband recent marriage and how the kids like their new stepmom. Giselle did have to disclose that the kids pretty much don't know her and haven't met her. I don't know what's that's about. He asked about Nams, I think his name, and Josh. Ashley's and Giselle's new quote unquote friends that they met during the show. They said that they still hang out, and Giselle still sees the one guy, Ashley seeing the other guy off and on, but the both of the two men do hang out together. Um, and then there was some issues where Wendy and Ashley got into a little back and forth about the rumors that Ashley had put out about Eddie supposedly cheating from something she read in a blog. Didn't have actual concrete. They discussed that. And then they talked about TJ and Stacy. Stacy admitted that her and TJ are no longer together, but she did say, they said TJ loved the camera, which I thought was odd because TJ's an actor. Of course, he loves the camera. And then they talked with Kay and discussed Kay and Greg's relationship. Kay said her and Greg had separated for a while. She is moving into her own place, and she, I guess, doesn't plan on living with Greg until she gets a ring. And she did also admit that Greg does not like the camera, which we all know he said it on screen, when they were filming in the car, that he doesn't like the camera. He doesn't really like the show. It's kind of odd. I'm like, Greg, are you hiding something or are you just really that camera shy? It's kind of odd, but it is what it is. Then they talked about some issues with the clothing, who was wearing who gown and what a person dressed another person for whatever event. It wasn't that important. But let's get to the meat of this because this show really was all about Mia, okay? Mia lies continue to come out. It basically came down to Mia had planned, plotted, and executed this whole Gordon Inc. Mia and paternity story. She was lying the whole time. And when I tell you, them girls got her on that stage and got Mia all together, and Mia got, upset and, of course, walked off crying. But Mia, you kind of brought this on yourself. Okay? First and foremost, Gordon told you he didn't want to film with Ink. But he said it on the show. Remember when it aired, he didn't want to film with ink. It became uncomfortable. Mia was like, "Oh, that's Gordon's bipolar. Sometimes he wants to do it, sometimes he don't." I didn't believe that, but that's what they say. Okay, so Andy was, going back and forth with his little shade here and there. Um, Giselle did made some good comments. She said, they plotted this together, and Ink left the show because he didn't realize the backlash that he would get for being, quote, a side dude, baby daddy, not baby daddy, paternity issue on the show, and making Gordon look bad. So she believed that's why Ink walked away. But in her mind, Ink and Mia are still together. Mia still lives in Atlanta and flies back and forth to film. The children are in Atlanta and they come back and forth. And I believe that because she said she homeschooled them. So that means she can take them back and forth. I don't believe Mia. Mia saying, no, I don't live in Atlanta. I still live here. I don't believe that. It just doesn't make sense to me. So Wendy chimed in too, and she said, she was just like, you shouldn't have brought this. They all agreed that she should never have brought this to television. She said, you guys basically made your children look bad. Um, Mia was saying, oh, I just wanted to show positive co parenting, that it can be done and all of that. But I'm like, how are you co parent? How is Ink co parent a child that's not his? Mia's still sitting there calmly on the couch, continuing to lie. Giselle said Ink, wanted more camera time. Originally, he wanted more camera time. He wanted to be seen more. But again, that backlash kind of pulled him back off the camera. All right. So I guess the thing that really, really got to me was the whole thing with Mia saying she wanted to, show the co parenting while they go through this paternity thing. And then when it came out that the baby was conceived through IVF, Mia tried to cover that lie up and say, oh, well, no, I could have already been pregnant while I was doing IVF. Now, most of the women on that stage, outside of Kay, I don't know if Kay has a baby or not, but all of them had children. So they understand the whole pregnancy process, Mia. And that's where I'm confused at. You're sitting there telling all of these women, some of them who had multiple children, how IVF works, and that you could already been pregnant at the time they was doing the procedure. And they all looking at you like, because they checked first to see if you're pregnant. And I'm thinking the same thing. If you already have a baby in you and they ingest another baby in you, you be having twins with different due dates or something. That didn't even make sense. They won't be identical twins, but they'll be, I guess, twins with different due dates. Like, man, they have to check to see if you're pregnant before they do that. That's just common sense. And then she said, oh, excuse me, you don't get a positive pregnancy test until you're 4.5 weeks. That's not true. You could be within 72 hours pregnant and you can go down to the store, the drugstore, Walgreens, Walmart, whatever, and buy a pregnancy test at home and get a positive reading in 2 or 3 days. That's not true. There's people who can go to the doctor in 2 weeks and be like, oh, I'm 2 weeks pregnant. That is not true, Mia. You lying again. Stop lying. It doesn't make sense to me. Why do you keep lying? None of this makes sense. Why? So I started to think. Mia said, Mia said something about, I'm sorry. Mia said something about, they were talking about her dress, and she said, okay, when I was in corporate America, I wore suits and stuff all the time. But now, I'm not in corporate America anymore, so I can wear what I want to wear. Giselle threw out Fashion Nova. Everybody laughed, however. And I thought that was, like, God, that was kind of shady. Maybe she's, getting some money for wearing Fashion Nova clothes. A lot of people do that. Maybe she's a sponsor. Now, here's what I think. Mia did drum up this storyline. I think initially Ink went along with it, and I'm 100% certain that Gordon went along with it. They knew at the get-go that Ink was not that baby's father, and I don't know why she put that young boy in the mix of this, because it's going to come out. If the kids ain't talking about it yet, they're going to be talking about it. However, she said Mia wanted to be Beyonce of the group, so because apparently somebody told her that she's Beyonce, so she wants that camera time. She wants to be the face of the show. Okay, number one. Number two, Gordon is no longer in business with his siblings because they have bought him out, and he doesn't really have a steady income. I guess they're living off his savings and whatever adventures he tries to get into afterwards. And then three, I'm not saying Ink needs money, because apparently he's some big DJ called Incognito, but we call him Ink for short. I don't really follow hip hop and all that like that, but apparently Ink is very popular and makes good money. However, an extra check doesn't hurt. If you look at all three of them together filming on this show, Bravo checks are good. All three of them were making checks. And that's how they were living. And I believe that was the plot. And that's why they were trying to get this airtime. And that's why they were trying to get the storyline going so it can continue on. It started last season and then it went into this season. And they're study getting paid for it. And if she had not got caught up in her lies, and I don't know why Gordon decided to tell Karen's husband the truth, but he did. And when that came out, when they realized she already knew the paternity and she was still giving them that story, and then Karen and Giselle said, hold up. Gordon already told us that Ink is not the father. And Mia's eyes look like, oh crap, I've been caught. The storyline is now, being unfolded. I think that was the time Mia realized, oh crap, I'm busted. They got me. So she tried to, clean it up some, but okay, now we understand what you guys were doing. You did create a storyline. You had us believing it, and you knew all along your baby was conceived through IVF, and you knew there was no possible way, mathematically, biologically, scientifically, however you want to put it, there was no way that Ink could have been the father. The math was not math, Mia. And you played in our face and lied in our face. So now with this story, I'm just going to see how long is Andy and them going to allow her to be on this show and continue this BS. Because the lies are out there. Your story has unfolded. We know the truth now, Mia. Mia could keep lying, but ain't nobody going to believe a damn thing come out of your mouth going forward. You really, really have to figure out how to come back out of this one. Okay? And they're going to, at this point, nobody's going to want to deal with you. They'll give you a little bit of coddling here and there, but they're not going to believe nothing you say. They're going to make it a hard time for you on the show going forward, because at this point, I don't think any of them like you. I believe they're going to bring in Stacy as a filler, because Stacy is quite interesting, and we're going to see where her story goes, because we've seen how that one ended. Mia couldn't take the pressure, because them lies were unfolding left and right on that stage, and she couldn't take the pressure because she didn't have a backup plan. If you're going to create a story that outrageous, Mia, you better have some backup lies just in case. You better have sat down and had a plan A, B, C, and D, because everything has now been exposed and you look ridiculous. And even to the fans of the show, it doesn't look bad. Even to the fans of you, people who like Mia, I like Mia, but I can't even go along with that. So then they asked Jackie, and that's my last little rant here. And Jacqueline is Mia's, lapdog. She tries to cover it up, but even she had to admit that sometimes Mia does exaggerate. She says Gordon goes along with it sometimes and sometimes he don't. But yeah, Mia does exaggerate. She couldn't go there, because even she knew this story was outrageous. But Jacqueline, I think you were in on it too. That you Mia's best friend, and you knew you had to know that baby was conceived through IVF. How you not know that, Jacqueline? So you was in along with this lie too, and you just played along with it. So I don't trust you either. I wish you well in your baby and everything, but I don't trust you either. And then after all that's said, Mia has the audacity to get up and start crying. You did this to yourself. You created these lies, and then you wasn't ready for the heat. If you can't stand that heat, as they say, get out of the damn kitchen. Now you got a decision to make, Mia, going forward. Because next season, if you still there, they going to eat you for dinner. They ain't going to have Karen to eat up, because she probably going to have to sit out a season. But they going to eat you up. You better be prepared. And I don't think it's going to be throwing drinks in nobody's face next season, because they probably going to throw some drinks right back at you. All right? And with that being said, Nia gets up, walks out, go to the dressing room. She can't take it no more. Then they pan over to Eddie and Greg. I think that was Kira's boyfriend, Greg. One of the two of them, the men. And they called TJ. Come to find out, TJ in California said he was, escaping the fires or whatever. And then he dropped a bombshell when they asked him why he wasn't here. He said, ask Stacy. Then it kind of went blank. And then they pan back to Wendy. She gets a text from Eddie. And she's like, oh my God. And then it goes off. And we all know what happens after that. But hey, it was a decent reunion. I just felt it was all about Mia. Mia, whatever you got going on, just stop. And I understand Mia a little bit because Mia did not grow up in the best of environments. We all know that. Mia has been on survival mode since she was a youngin', her teenage years. We all know that. So Mia probably is suffering from one of those type of personalities where all she know is survival. All she know is how to get by and do whatever it takes, hustle, whatever it takes to get there. Fake it till you make it, whatever. That's what Mia lives off of. That's the code that she lives by. And she doesn't understand, baby, you made it. You made the primetime TV technically. You're on Bravo. You're on a good franchise. You don't have to lie anymore. You don't have to create storylines like that. Just be yourself. I don't think Mia realized when she stepped on the scene, people liked her. She immediately got a fan base. They loved what she was doing. They even, laughed a little bit at some of the lies she was doing. And she took it to the next level. And you didn't have to do that, Mia. Because people liked you anyway. You were fresh, you were different, you came in, you told your truth. You didn't have to exaggerate. Your story was good enough. But Mia is a type of young lady, and there's a lot of them out here in this world. And again, I'm not knocking them because I don't know everybody's struggle, and I'm not judging them because I never walked in their shoes, they never walked in my shoes. But there's a group of people in this world who survive like Mia does. And they don't realize they don't have to be that way anymore because you have a village around you to support you. You have friends who believe in you. But she's probably been in an area or an environment where trust was an issue. She never trusted people around her. People may have taken advantage of her. She said her mom wasn't there for her, things of that nature. So she was always in survival, keeping a one eye open on everybody, never fully trust people. The only person she, I guess, fully trusts is Ink. She gives him everything. And I don't think she understands where you at today, Mia, has nothing to do with where you started. I always say it's not where you start, it's where you finish. You are in a good space. Now, these ladies, they fight and argue back and forth, but I can guarantee you, if you was true to your soul with them and really showed them who you were, they would embrace you and help you elevate to the next level. What you should be focusing on in Gordon, since you guys no longer have a business or whatever it was that got you to this level, is trying to rebrand and get back to where you were, because you still got those children to raise. You don't have to lie to do that. You're on, as Candy say, you're on this platform where it's free advertisement for any business you want. Okay? I don't know what your niche is. I don't know what your expertise is. I don't know what Gordon's expertise is. But together, y'all could find something. Everybody doing podcasts. You got an audience. You and Gordon could do a podcast about relationships between younger and middle age or older people and how to work that out. Y'all been together, you said 10, 12 years or whatever. There's all kind of things you could do to bring in some extra revenue. Okay? You just took the wrong road trying to get 3 checks built around this lie that has been exposed. And now you want to go back in your room and cry because the plot and the plan didn't work out the way you thought it would. Think about that, Mia. And with that being said, thank you to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Every time I log on to upload a video, I see another subscriber. I don't have a lot of subscribers, y'all, but I just enjoy doing these videos, and I hope you guys enjoy listening to me. I know sometimes I go out on a ramp, I just talk, but I make notes, but sometimes things just come in my head because I watch a lot of different shows and I want to make sure I do cover everything. But I try to cover the most important parts. And I think on this part 2 of the reunion, Mia was the center of attention. And that's why I focused most of the video, my commentary on her. And again, everything I say is alleged in my opinion and for entertainment purposes only. Again, alleged in my opinion and for entertainment purposes only. I don't know these people. I don't have anything against anybody, and I wish them all well. But at the end of the day, if you're going to be on these reality TV shows, you gotta understand there's going to be a group that loves you, there's going to be a group that hates you, and there's going to be a person like me that's just in between because I ain't got a dog in this fight. I just call it the way I see it. That's how my generation operates. Okay, you guys have a great rest of your day, and y'all be safe out there. Pray for this world, because every day I don't even look at the news anymore. But to be honest, every day if I'm scrolling on social media or something, I see something that just devastates me. Pray for your loved ones. Pray for your friends. I don't know how long this is going to go on. Only God knows, but it can't last forever. All right. You guys have a great rest of your day once again. And this is Gen X Nation. Uh, Peace out.